Okay, I'm gonna do a video and show you how I connect the sides of this together. There's a million and one ways to do it. This is just one way to do it. You could stitch it with a sewing needle if you wanted to, and you could use crochet hook like this. Some people they'll crochet the inside seam, or the outside, they'll use the outside stitch to the other outside. Some people just go straight in and jab it and pull it through. Some people slip stitch it and others single stitch it. I'm just going to single stitch and go through the outside stitch. I'm not like freaked out about if I skip one or two. You can't really tell. But hopefully the video is good. I need to check and see if it's centered. Let me look over and see. I got my camera, so yeah, we're good. Look good? It looks good. Alright. So yeah, here we go. I wonder if I can zoom in a little bit. Zoom it in a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so here I am videotaping. I figured I might as well videotape. We have a GoPro. It's the easiest way to do it. I could videotape myself with the camera, but I gotta get it all set up on the tripod, and it's hard to get like a first-person point of view. This is just as easy as it gets. Yeah. So I'm just kind of burning through some of this yarn that we have in the garage. Not cotton. I've been trying to use only cotton, but it's fine. Ain't no biggie. As long as people understand not to throw this in the dryer on high heat. I mean, I wouldn't put it in the dryer. I would air dry it anyway, but that's the only downfall with acrylic yarn, is if you happen to wash it and dry it in the dryer or in the washer and dryer, you're gonna probably see it shrink and shrivel up quite a bit compared to cotton. Cotton will hold its form a lot better. But oh man, I just looked over my camera is like a little off. Let me fix that. Right. Sorry if it's making noise. Can't help that. Okay. Tighten up the screws. Here we go. I just looked up and I saw the frame was out of frame. Yeah, some of these I'm not necessarily going on the outside stitch, but if I can, I will. I think it just looks better. I've slip stitched too. You can slip stitch them. It's just like I said, whatever you want. You know, people say there's different ways to skin a cat, or to each their own. I think that's another saying. So yeah, and same with making crochet items and bags. There's a million different ways to make a bag. So this technique is not a secret, although an acquaintance of mine, my old co-worker's wife, mentioned that this way of making bags, which is just basically crocheting a big rectangle, folding it in half and then stitching the sides is one way. And so I gave it a try, and yeah, it's like so simple. Another way you could do it, which what I was doing was crocheting 2 separate squares. Sorry, my throat. I was crocheting 2 separate squares and then just stitching them together like that, which you can do that too, but if you want to be more proficient, maybe not the use of the word efficient, you do it this way. I like doing all different ways. Just opens up your library of things you can do. So yeah, granny squares. I like doing granny squares. Sometimes it's just nice to switch things around. If you get in a rut, you want to have variety. But yay. All right, so here's the end of this. I'm just getting a couple more further down there, and I do one more, and then we're going to cut this. Right, leave a little tail so I can weave in the ends and just pull this through, and it's secure. Am I recording? I'm recording. Okay, so here's the other side. Let's get this going. Sorry, I'm not exciting, but yeah. I kind of tied this up so when it's I had a really long tail. Okay, so look at me. Here it is. Sugar boom boom. I don't usually mess around with knots too much. I'm not a fan of acrylic yarn. This yarn is hand-me-down yarn, which is fine with me, but this particular yarn, I'm using 3 strands, by the way. That doesn't make it any better. This one yarn that I'm using, it has this other material in it. So hold on, let me start the video in a second. Okay, I just about got this undone. Yeah, so one of the reasons why I'm using 3 strands is because I'm not a fan of small yarn, first of all. And like this yarn, one of these yarns calls for a 4mm. I go by the hooks on millimeters. Some use the letters. I think one of these yarns is a 4mm. Another one's like 4.5 or something like that. Anyway, if you use multiple strands of yarn at the same time, then you can just, you know, thicken up your gauge a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. So that's what I did. All right. Yeah. So I got 3 strands. I got 3 balls of yarn here. So yeah, it's no problem. So I got a couple of things I can do with this. Let me zoom out. So if I don't want to be wasteful, I'll just tie on, which I'm just going to do that. Tie on. No biggie. Gonna tie on a knot. Show you how I tie a knot. Not really a knot. It's a knot, but not your traditional. Just tying 2 strings together. Ain't no secret or nothing. Fisherman. I did this when I fished, and I needed to tie 2 lines together. Works very well. So you just do this, that. Hopefully my camera is where it needs to be. Okay. Yeah. I'll work with any yarn. Some yarn just takes more patience than others. So yeah, you did that, do that. Tie knots on each side. Pull it tight, you're good to go. Trim off the tails. And there you go. That's how I tie my ties together, my lines. Okay, so here's the other side. I guess it's kind of an instructional video, isn't it? So we're just I'm not getting all critical about this. It's gonna come together. All right, so yeah, just like we did on the other side. It's kind of fluffy. Let's get it. Right there. Nice. Like there, I'm just gonna go for it. It's not the end of the day if you don't get it perfect. It's not really I'm not making crap quality or nothing like that, but if I miss, if I skip a section, like a little bit of an area, it's not the end of the world. It's all together. It's not gonna fall apart. That's the main thing. It ain't falling apart. Excuse me. There, okay. So yay. Yeah, I guess if you're watching, so the story behind me crocheting, it all started when I hurt my back, and oh man, this is a long time ago, like 2010. No, let's see, that 9, 10, probably around like 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2014, 2015. I injured my back, and while I was resting on bed rest, I taught myself how to knit. So I got a book from the bookstore, and it was Knitted Hats. This author, I don't know if he's the author. Anyway, it was a book about knitting hats, beanie hats. And this guy knitted beanie hats for all of his friends. And so there was a book written about it. I forgot the name of it. Anyway, I taught myself how to knit, and I was knitting hats. I don't know why I just jumped into knitting and didn't go straight into crochet. But yeah, that's where it all started. So long story short, fast forward to today, I taught myself how to crochet probably 1 or 2 years ago. And so yeah, I crocheted hats and scarves, and then just recently started crocheting bags because, well, I wanted to sell hats and scarves, but obviously that's a seasonal thing. People aren't buying those things during the summertime, so what else could you do? I mean, there's you can make, it's almost unlimited with what you can make. I just figured bags because it's simple design, squares, rectangles. Started making granny square crochet bags, and yeah, I still do. I'll take a break from the just basic square bags and do some granny squares. Don't mind if I do. I have a granny square project that I'm on right now. It's a 13 square. So I just have to finish up the squares and get that one going. But I gotta finish this one first. Alright, so that's the end of that. And trim off the tail. Just a little bit there. And we're good to go. Just like that. And then I'll weave in the ends. Let's do a clip on that. Hey, welcome back. I had to take a little breaky break. Alright, so here we are. We gotta tie in our tails, weave them in, tie them in, whatever you want to call them. I got this is one of my favorite new needles. I like the long one because I can make some ground. I just like the long, it's fun. Okay. So, yay. We're just gonna weave these in, weave them in, I don't know, whatever you want to do. I fishtail them in, fishtail, weave them, do what you gotta do to get the yarn through. Sugar boom. We're gonna have some rain here pretty soon. Down here in Warsaw, Missouri. Down in Warsaw. Okay. She did, you know. I don't know. I'd like to go through 3 or 4 times. It's just, there's already a knot at the end of it. I mean, you could probably get away with just cutting it at the end, but for extra precaution, I just do this. I mean, right now I could probably just cut it off, but look at me, I'm still going. It's that quality, you know, it's that quality. Every now and then you hear people talk about they don't trust crochet or knitting because their stuff falls apart or something that they buy falls apart. Well, I could only guess that whoever made it did not take the precautions to make sure that it didn't fall apart, if that makes any sense. So this is just an extra step that I like to take to make sure that the quality is good. So yeah. So I'll get these in, and then what's the next step? Oh yeah, the next step after this is to crochet border around the top of the bag, which just makes it more visually appealing, and also it helps bring everything together. We'll get there. Alright, so I'll finish this, and I'll start the video. I'll meet you when I do that. Okay, I'll just keep this rolling here. I was gonna cut it off. I might edit this video. If not, thanks for sticking around here. I know that there's people that can crochet faster than me and do all this faster, but honestly, well, I'm not doing it for speed. I'm doing it for quality, first and foremost. Speed. When I knitted, I wasn't like flying or nothing. I just went my own pace, and I was okay with it. I'm not worried about speed. I'm working for myself here. This is just something that I'm making, and it's not on a timeline or nothing like that. Okay, one more. Get this through. Okay. Yeah, and scissors and cut. We're good to go. Okay, so got that. Now what we do is flip this back over, and well, this is inside out right here. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it right side. Flip it right side. So you can do a million things with this square. You can make a pillow, sure. But I'm making a bag so you can see the seams. Nice. Not bad, eh? So I crocheted this with half double crochets, which isn't, it's not holding at all. It's really cool, actually. Okay, so next step is to grab the needle, and I keep on calling this a needle. It's not a needle, it's a hook, David. Get our string, yarn, string, yarn. Got our 3 strands. And what I've been doing is make a slip stitch. Make a little slip stitch right here. And then I start close to the seam here. That way if there's any kind of imperfection, can't really tell too much. It kind of goes into the seam. I don't know if that's a hair or what, but anyway. So I'm going to single stitch around the border. Maybe like, I don't know, 3 times. And take a measurement. I'm trying to get an even square. If it's longer in one area, it's fine. So we're looking at roughly 13 and a half inches wide. And we're at 13 inches tall. So that gives me some room. Let's do this. Single stitch all the way around. Single crochet to be correct. Single crochet. I don't know how many. Just go with it. May or may not want to fast forward the video now. I'm just going to keep it recording, and if I need to edit it, I can fix it later in the editor. Might as well, right? Why am I recording? Because I can, and I have a GoPro, I got a head mount, and I got time. Doesn't bother me. So yeah, just make our way around here. I made some coffee. Make some coffee. I'll finish this up, and then I keep on seeing this piece here. I think it's hair. Isn't that great? Freaking hair. Oh yeah, it is. It's got hair. Got it. Look at that. Got it out. Hey. Add a little DNA in that, why don't you? I got plenty of yarn, so I have another ball of pretty much. I don't have more pink, but I have plenty of pink to work with. I might run out of this stuff right here, but I got more of it. Single crochet. Okay, let me just concentrate, get this. I do use markers. I don't need a marker right now, but when I go around the second time, I'll throw a marker on it. See, when I get to this part here, I kind of skip over a little part. So I'm not super critical. I do like to get, okay. If I don't get both of those, it's not a killer. Just makes a little bit of hole. I mean, it's already holy right there. It's fine. Just kind of finding my way around here. Some of it's a little wonky. All right, get back on track. Sometimes you gotta hunt and pick your way through. This, you've heard me say this is a triple strand. I don't usually do triple strand, and one of these yarns is fuzzy. I don't usually do the fuzzy stuff. Not saying I'm against it, but it's just another thing that gets in your way, I guess. That helps to be able to see the holes in your work so you can put your hook in it. If you can't see it, you just feel for it. There's a hole there. You can feel it. If things are tight, you just back off and readjust. So like that right there, felt like it went inward, a little weird. Okay, so we're almost back to our first round. Now when I get to where I began, we're going to slip stitch it. Show you. Slip stitch it. When I get there, I'm going to take a pause and get me some coffee. But here's our tail. We're just going to put our tail inside here. Some people like to crochet their tails in. I'm not really worried about it. I have a slip stitch in there, so it's secure. Okay, so I could do one more here. Get it in. Alright, now from here, I can slip stitch and there'll be a little bit of a hole, or I could do one more. Let's do one more stitch right there. Okay. Now there's my end. I'm going to go on the top of this right here, slip stitch it. There we go, slip stitched, crochet one, and then I got my handy marker. I'm going to mark it so I know not to go in there when I come back around. So I'm going to take a second and get some coffee. I guess I'll take you along and get some coffee. Coffee cup right here. handy dandy Colorado cup. Use a couple sweeteners. I haven't been drinking a lot of coffee lately, but this past couple of days I have, and it's pretty nice. Okay, dokie. My little coffee maker, a little coffee. I'll put some milk in there. I don't like it extremely hot. A little bit of that lactose free. Become lactose intolerant. Okay, dokie, smoky, good to go. Alright, back to where we were. We are on our way. I've been slacking on this bag. This should have been done yesterday. But like I said, I am not in a race. Alright, so I slip stitched. I did one chain one. Now I'm going to continue single crocheting. Single crochet. Single crochet. It's Friday. It's Friday. We got some storms coming in. Let's see. They're calling for, well, I see high winds and just crazy storms. Weather forecast guy that I watch on YouTube mentioned that the weather that we're having right now, it's typical weather that we usually get for spring and fall, but not summertime. So got to keep our eye out for tornadoes. Tornadoes. Single crochet, so basic. All right. Yeah, you can see. This is the second round. I'm gonna do maybe four rounds. So I'll finish this second round up and then I'll cut the video. And then I'll start the video when I make it to my last round for the top here. So let's see, we're making our way. Dun, 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 dun. Get to the end of this. Where's my end? Oh, it's over here. Okay. The cat is snoring. You're snoring, Oliver. He's knocked out. Good old Oliver. Okay, all right. Yeah. So, getting there. Dun, 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 dun. Just so like right now I just had a brain fart. I thought I skipped one. Nice thing about crochet is that if you make a mistake you can just back up, fix it. When I was knitting you couldn't really, you can fix your stuff if you drop a stitch, but it's something that I never really learned how to do. So if I messed up knitting, I just unraveled the whole thing, but I didn't mess up a lot. Alright, there's my ending. I'm gonna go into this I can go into it, it's fine. Alright, so this is round 2. There's my marker. I'm not going into that spot where the marker was. I'm going to go into the top, slip stitch, chain 1. And then I'm going to do that like 2 or 3 more times. So I'm trying to make an even square. Let's get the measuring device. We're looking at, what do we say, 13.5 roughly. I'm not trying to get all scientific about it. We're at 13. I'll do 2 more rows. I'm just about there. I'll do two more rows of single. Okay. And then when I get to that point, I'll start the video again. Okay, so I'm at my last round, but I forgot to mention, I slip stitch every time I finish the edge of something. I'll slip stitch it. It just makes it better looking. So I'm gonna go around and slip stitch everything. It's a nice finishing touch. So yeah. We're slip stitching. Trying not to go tight. Just loosely. Slip stitching all the way around. And then this part will be done. After this, I just have to make handles. I've been making short handles. I think the total length was 30 inches. 2 handles each, 30-inch handles. So with this thick yarn, just do 2 rows wide on the handles. So I'll start the video when I begin the handles. Okay, dokie? I'll see you in a minute. Alright, here we are. We got our bag done. So, the only thing we gotta do is make handles. That's it. It's pretty nice. So, here's this week's lineup. Other projects. So, here's my one that I did before. It's a little bit bigger, actually. They big. So these are the handles that I go with. That one. And then this guy. This guy is cotton. And then this one, a little bit smaller. So like I said, this one should have been done yesterday, and I should have been on another one today to make 5 bags during the week. That'd be good. It's alright though. So yep. So I'll sit that there and make 2 handles at 30 inches. Let's get on them. What am I doing? Oh, I'm making handles. Alright, so this is how I make handles. Get all this together. So I leave a tail so I can sew the handles in. I think that's about right. That's good enough. It's quite a big tail, but whatever. So, I used to make handles differently before. I used to just chain however many I needed to make the length, but then I learned that you can do it this way. And it's so much easier. I like it. It makes the crochet a lot more even on both sides too. So yeah, that's all I'm doing there. Single, wait, I'm doing single? Yeah, I'm doing single crochet. When I turn, I turn, you always turn left, right? Yeah, you always turn left. Yeah. You can go through the back stitch if you wanted to, or just kind of go this way. You can either go through this stitch, or you can go through the back. I think if you go through the back, it cleans it up a little bit. I'm not really sure. I haven't really experimented with that. I'm just going to go through it this way. So it shouldn't take too long to make a 30-inch handle with two stitches, 2 crochets wide, two stitches wide. So I'll just leave it recording. It's not that it's hard, it's just time consuming. Crochet, that is. Ain't nothing hard about it. Thought I heard something outside. So my other handles that I made for the other bag was about 55 rows. So usually I'll just keep on going, and when I think I'm close, stick it up to the measuring tape, check it. Sometimes I do more than I need, and I'll just back out what I don't. Typically, when I'm not doing a video, I have the TV on, but I'm not going to do that. Always turning left. Always rotate left. Yeah, I'm not, my bags are not all equal. Like, I can make my bags equal size if I do granny squares, or if I was real particular and stuck to a specific ruler measurement. But I think it's fun to have some variety for people to choose. It's not like I'm mass manufacturing these for a company. They have a specific standard. This is just the way that I want to do it, Okay, so we're probably a quarter of the way. Alright, for time's sake, I'm going to stop the video here, and when I get to the end, or when I get to a certain point where I want to mention something, I'll get back on it. So finish this up and I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to do a spot check and see. So I'm looking for 30 inches. So when I do these, I stretch them out first. Stretch it real good. Get a true reading. Okay, so let's just say that's the end. I'm about 1 inch away. Nice. Let's just do that. Get Put our string together. Where are we at? 3 strands. 3. Get this together. Get that together. Okay. Whoa. Hold up now. There we go. What do I got going on here? I got this part that wants to go back in. There we go. Whoa, look at that. I don't know why it's doing that. This is definitely not my favorite. This yarn is, to be nice, not my favorite yarn. It seems to want to pull through. So let's leave it right there. There we go. What did I say, 1 more inch? It's like 2 or 3 more rows. Yeah, so you want to measure stretched because you don't want to get a miscalculation here. Let's do 1 more. Wiggle, wiggle. See? Okay. Just gonna stretch it. Yay. Alright, so let's get it good. Might have to back out 1. So there's 30. What I'll do is, yeah, I'm gonna take off a good stretch because over time this is naturally gonna stretch this way. So I'm gonna back out 1. I only needed 1 more. So I'm gonna go to that right there. So there we go. We have 1 handle done. So what I'll do is chain 1, and we're going to cut. We're going to cut it so we have a tail that we can get the handles connected later. And then what you want to do is count what you got. You can either count now or later, but let's just get an idea. So you start here. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 47, 48. Let's just say 48, not including the ones on the end. Okay, so we got 48. I'm gonna make the other handle. I'll be back. Show you how we tie them on. Okay. Alright, so I got both my handles and confirmed that they're the same length. Now I'm just gonna kind of, there's no mathematical equation of this, but I eyeball it. I've been doing, like, I think it was 1 1/4 or inch and 3/4, almost 2 inches. Just gonna see how it looks. So let's see if this is about where it was on the last one. Yeah, I think that's about good. Give it 2 inches. Say 2 inches. So right here is where I want to put it. Give me a sec. Alright, first, let's get this started. So here's how we do the handles. Get it started. Come back with the ruler. place our spot at roughly 2 inches. So I'm going to go right here. I think that's a good spot. Let's go right here. Okay. Alright. Here's how I do the handles. Just like this. Actually, hold up. Need to go in this way. Sorry, I'm bad. See the hole I was just in? Right there. Okay. So I'm going to give it 2 stitches on each hole. You could use a needle and do this, but this works just fine. Find your hole just about there. So, yep, looking good. Could slip stitch it, but this is fine. Just like that, right? And give it one more slip stitch right there. This yarn, I'm telling you, is rough. Okay, so got one handle. Do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that the handles aren't twisted. So we're gonna do this. So roughly, I'm gonna turn this. Since that, okay, so just a rough estimate, not rocket science. Okie, and then we're gonna pull through and get it going. 2 stitches per hole. It's just extra strength. Make sure I go in the next hole. That's good. Hole 1. And 2. Cool. Slip stitch. This yarn, I'm telling you, likes to catch onto itself. Alright. And then since we got that there, we can just eyeball the other one. So like this. We're gonna go like that, right? So let's go ahead and get it started. So we know where those are. Can match them up as close as we can. Say right here. Good at that one. Yeah, that looks good. And voila. 2 per. There's 2. Move over to the next. Into the next hole. One. 2. Slip stitch. 1. Make sure it's not twisted. You know what? Did I verify that? Yeah, okay, we're good. Not twisted. Turn this around. So straight, we're gonna go right here. Abracadabra. Right there. Pretty simple. And then once I get all these in, I'll tie in the ends, weave them in, whatever you want to call it. And then that's it. Slip stitch it, and good. Bam. Got your handles. Look at that. That's it. There's our bag. I like it. All right. So I'll weave them in, and that'll be it. Okay, hopefully I'm recording. At my last handle tie-in. So just gonna film the rest of this here like this. So just tying this in, making sure. So I have a slip stitch in, which is essentially a knot, but for quality purposes, I'm getting the ends tied in really good. This yarn is a yarn that I would not recommend because it does this thing. It's so fibrous, it wants to catch on itself. It's the problem that I had when I was winding it on the winder. Okay. Yay. Got that. Kind of making my way in. Feels good to be on the home stretch of a project. So usually when I'm working with a project that only has one, even two strands, especially cotton, you can just make your way through with no effort at all, but this one is just so thick. Just gonna feel your way through. So just going in, backtracking. This is a part that I get a little anxious about when I finish a project. I worry about if the handles are going to come off, but this way, I guarantee you, I can almost guarantee you, I can guarantee you these handles won't come out. First of all, that slip stitch, and then this is the last barrier. I go in here so many times, and I tell you, this is freaking okay. All right, that's it. Cut that off. Put that up. You got yourself a dang bag, bro. Look at that. Very nice. Well, that's heavy too. Cool, dude. Got yourself some bags. I'll do another one. I need to get at least 5 a week. Nice. Well, I'll do another one and maybe do another video. What's up, bro? Been sleeping? Sleepy, sleepy.